Hello and welcome to update 6, 7, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. This is 8 months in to our youth centre build. I want to quickly show you around, give you an idea of where we're at, what we still got left to do, and just show off because it's cool. So what we're really going for in this space is zones. We want to make sure that every area is its own zone. It feels slightly different to the rest of the room and you don't feel like you're surrounded by people. We want this space to feel introvert friendly. So this particular zone is what we're calling our Nerd Nook. We're gonna stick them on the ceiling. I've got a couple of retro games, arcade machines going against this wall. Well, hopefully, if we've got the budget, gonna put an arcade coffee table here with games and joysticks. We've got a galvanized metal shelf going against this wall with comic books. We're gonna have backlit cabinets on the wall behind me for things like Pokeballs and little bits of Lego. There's a hanging chair, there'll be a small bench, and this all sits on a fake grass floor. It's got its own colour walls behind me. I can see the rest of the room, but at the same time, I feel separate from it. That's this zone right here. This zone here is a little bit different. We want to make sure there's lots of room in here to play board games. We're going to have a big bookcase full of quality board games. So I've got 2 dining tables with benches. They're going to have feature chairs at the end, and if we need to, we can drag them forward and add chairs at the back if we want to get another person round it. To the moment, we've got enough space for 10, if not 12 people. We're going to put a false wall here, which I'm making out of wood and bits of black paracord. It'll be very cool when it's done. And on this green wall behind me, we're having a custom-made neon sign that says "You are welcome." So this bit here will also function as its own zone. So we had quite a hard time deciding what to do under this massive window at the front. So what we've done is we've built our own bar. We use gravel board and hot rolled steel and 3/4 inch industrial tubing. It's bolted in so it's solid. We've got these black steel stools. There'll be 8 of those along here and round the side, and it creates just another zone. We're gonna have 4 drop-down movie-style spotlights here. Each one will have a Nanoleaf Essentials bulb in it, and what these light bulbs allow us to do is to create a zone through lighting. This looks like a corridor or a wall at best, and you want to make sure the zone feels wrapped. And so what we're doing is we'll put these bulbs in. This will allow us to colour this space specifically, so when you walk into the room, and wherever you are in the room, when you're looking at this line here, it will feel like a small room. So that's the idea of the Nanoleaf bulbs. There's plenty of space to have drinks or play small card games here, and we're not blocking access to that cupboard that has our consumer unit in it. All these blinds operate independently, so again, this is a very editable space. So those first 3 zones are on this half of the downstairs room. The entrance is there, you come in and that board game area is here, the bar is behind me, and the Nerd Nook is over there. Where I'm standing right here, we've got a great big hard-wearing rug for our pool table. We're actually getting a multi-games table. It's a really high-quality, solid 18mm MDF pool table top, 7 foot. That flips over and becomes air hockey, and then we can cover it and it becomes ping pong. I imagine the pool table will get most use followed by the air hockey, but it's nice to have the options, it's nice to have the editability, and again it sort of divides up these 4 zones. We're going to move into that side of the room now, and then I'll show you the loos right at the end as a genuine treat. So where I'm at here is the zone between the 2 halves of the room, and this has the 2 toilet doors, which I'll show you at the end. There are 3 bistro tables in the middle that are low down, but if you spin the top, they become higher and become standing tables or bar tables, which just gives us more flexibility in the space. Against the sofa here, we're having not 1 but 2 bar tables with 4 or 5 more bar stools, and that means in this middle zone here, we're going to have 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, if not 14 extra chairs with still enough room to move around. We've got our regulation size table football, and then behind that, against that wall, we are building a huge bookcase. On that bookcase there will be books, there'll be loads of board games, there'll be a PA controller box for the PA system on the stage, and there's also going to be a record player and a selection of LPs that will rig into the Bluetooth speaker we've got at the front. So that's going to be pretty retro, pretty epic. But this zone here creates more seating, it's still safe, you can still walk around it, full access to the toilets, and it breaks the room up, but doesn't get rid of our sight lines. Everyone feels like they're in their own space, but we can still see everybody at the same time. At least that's what we hope. So this bit's quite hard to show you because the stage is covered in these boxes of metal chairs which we need to put together. They're flattening a rug on the stage. But this is our stage area. It's raised about that far off the ground. There'll be a Nanoleaf LED strip all around it. The lights above it will be Nanoleaf, as will the row of spotlights behind the stage, and the two pendants next to the TV, and there'll be Nanoleaf panels on the wall. That means this entire front area, stage, TV area, can be controlled through Wi-Fi lighting. We can edit it to our heart's content. It can follow music. It's just going to be quite cool. Behind me, we've got this corner sofa. This is actually outdoor furniture. It's rattan furniture, and each seat comes apart so we can put it in different configurations, but most importantly, we can very easily carry it upstairs. It's super light, super compact, and it means if you ever want to put a drum kit or more people on the stage, we can get rid of that seat, put it somewhere else in the room, or get rid of it entirely. On this wall here, we're going to hang 3 guitars, an acoustic, an electric and a bass. There'll be an amplifier down here as well, rigged into the PA system. We're going to put speakers up here and here, so it's all going to face into the corner of the room, so there'll be no flat surface for it to bounce back and have weird echoes in the room. It's all been sound dampened, it's all been relatively soundproof behind, so we can use it as a proper stage for small gigs, but mostly it's just another seating zone that we can use to help young people stay comfortable and have another zone where, again, they feel like they're in their own space, but it's still part of the room. That's this space. I'm now sat at the front in the middle, which you'll see as you walk in across the room. Again, it's its own zone, but this is our sort of games TV area. This is the comfiest sofa in the world. Super hard wearing. Possible mistake with the covers we got in that they're not machine washable and they're quite nice velvet, so we might have to cover this a little bit more intentionally than we have done. There's a cool rug going down here once it arrives. We've got another chair there. We might put a small bench or beanbag somewhere. There's a big unit going under the TV, which will have an 8-person Nintendo Switch setup. The TV is 75 inch, there's a Roku attached to it as well, so we can stream from a laptop anywhere in the building. There'll be Nanoleaf Hex lights above it and a soundbar connected to it too. So if we ever run a gig in here, wherever you are in the room, you can still see the TV, still see the band at the front on the stage. So this is the last zone in the room before I show you the 2 toilets, which honestly are worth waiting for. We've got a bar here, 4 more bar stools, we can possibly put 1 more around the corner. And if you're counting for probably a 50-metre square room, we can get 50 people seated in here without having to bring out new chairs and still keeping a safe 1-metre fire path around the room. So really pleased with how the configuration of chairs are working out. This is our bar. We've got hot chocolate machines in here. We're going to be painting a big chalkboard here. And on the black wall behind me, we're putting some floating shelves that will be covered in cereal boxes. That's right, this is a cereal and hot chocolate bar. Those are the 2 things we're going to do. We're going to remove the oven, replace that with a dishwasher and a fridge, and we're going to serve hot drinks, probably hot dogs from a microwave, and cereal in this space. So here we are finally at the 2 toilets. There'll be a metal bookcase here to about this height. We've got a clock going here, which I can show you. Here it is. Nice industrial looking clock. Now we've got 2 toilets that are slightly different themed. There's the frog toilet and the cow toilet. Let me show you the cow toilet first. So inside this, we've got fake grass on the walls, we've got a fake plant in the corner, a cow toilet seat, a giant cow that watches you do your business, quirky mirrors, and we've also got a multi-cord hanging light going in here as well. Frog toilet is slightly different in that we have large bamboo, we've got a frog toilet seat and a whole bunch of gold framed frogs going up on the wall. Again, it's got a multi-cord hanging light going in it and the grass screen door. So that's basically it. This Friday we're having a flat pack party, putting all the remaining flat packs up. We've got a sign writer coming in sometime next week to fit a big brushed aluminium The Garage sign against one wall over there and against the entranceway outside the building. We've got an electrician coming in next week as well to fit all the lights, fit a few extra sockets and update our consumer unit so it is all safe and up to code. There's a lot still to happen. Please keep watching what we're doing. If you'd like to donate to this work, please get in touch. We'd be very, very grateful. This is the only youth centre of its kind across Wales, and we really are excited about what God's going to do in this space. If you're interested, this isn't just a drop-in youth club. This is not just a church hall with a bit more pizzazz thrown in. We want to create intentional community in this room. That's why we've designed it so specifically for the seating and the zones and the spatial awareness and the colours. We've been very careful to make sure that a very particular type of young person will feel comfortable here. And in my experience, that young person is the young person who doesn't normally do youth groups. A lot of my ministry is to those young people. There are youth clubs in this area, they do great work, but there's often a group of young people who won't go to those youth clubs because they're youth clubs. And so we're creating a youth club for people who don't do youth clubs. So we're going to do mental health support evenings, additional needs support evenings, creative writing, art, music. We're going to have karaoke nights, cosplay nights. It's going to be a very different kind of youth community. Pray for us, because one of the things that's going to be difficult for people to understand is we're not just going to throw open the doors when it's open and try to fill the room every night. For the first probably 6 months, we're just going to run intentional invitation-only events. Once we've done that, we'll have more of an idea of what type of swelling of personality and characters we've got coming here, and we'll cater the space to them. So that's it. Hope you've enjoyed this longer, slightly more detailed update. Keep in touch, keep your eyes on the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.